Over the last few years, there have been multiple water outages here in San Simon, and while this well may look small in stature, it's going to have a large impact on making sure that water flows consistently for many years. We're actually in the car because the Cochise County Sheriff's deputies told us for our safety that we need to remain in the vehicle. We were actually here getting ready to bring you election coverage when we saw police cars roll up to the front of the building. Pat, it's been a lot of shock and a lot of work. The fire crews have been out here way before that I got here, and they've been putting water on these two buildings. When you walk around the Warren district of Bisbee, history is all around you. Like historic Warren Ballpark that's been here since 1909, or across the street at Vista Park, a staple for this community. The last time these two teams met here in Wilcox was actually about a month ago.
Yeah,
and it was the Wilcox Cowboys who came away with that win.
Yeah.
And so it is up in the air what's going to happen tonight.
You never know.
Yeah. Sierra Vista Unified School District has had a no cell phone usage policy. So what's changing on the first day of school is the enforcement of that policy. This is the second time in 2 years voters are deciding whether or not to increase the sales tax by half a cent. I've spoken with people on both sides of this, some seeing this as a way that anyone coming to local communities can contribute, while others just don't want to see an increase to taxes at all. Right now, this is an active construction site for the new Cultural Arts and Heritage Building. And these are the plans for the building, 2 stories, allowing more students and more people to participate in their program. The Wilcox Food Pantry feeds hundreds of people each week through their distributions every Monday. Now, with people losing their SNAP benefits, they're expecting more people to show up, even though they've already got lines that span over 2 blocks.
We need it. It's helped so much.
On Monday morning, over 300 families picked up food from the Wilcox Food Pantry, something they haven't seen in a long time.
We have a lot of people in this community that are on food stamps and under the poverty level. So many of them are coming through our line because they can't afford medicine if they buy food.
With November's SNAP benefits not slated to go out, the pantry volunteers know more people will be in their line.
If we can take care of them, we'll take care of them. And I would never turn anybody away.
Something Mary Jimenez knows too well, first coming to the pantry when she was sick and couldn't work.
The fruit and the eggs and the milk and whatever they can give you. I mean, this is essential. Whenever you struggle, you need something to back you up. I found that out.
The food pantry is working on their backup plan. Director Nell Warden says food and monetary donations are at the lowest she's seen in 20 years.
I just don't know exactly what we're going to do. We're here and we're going to give people food. And if we run out of inventory, I'll do something, but I don't know what.
She says they plan week to week, but they're ready to help anyone who drives by.
They will not come to this line and not get anything.
Reporting in Wilcox, Alexis Ramanjulu, KGUN 9. The 2 strikers behind me have been in southern Arizona for about 3 months. There are over 100 of them spread out across the southern border.
It's just a super versatile vehicle. We're extremely grateful to have them.
I spent time with the 2nd Striker Brigade combat team, headquartered at Fort Huachuca. Following you.
You come into our home.
2,000 soldiers making up the team, assisting custom and border protections in Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas.
Every day in every one of those sectors, we are making detections. We see some activity and we call CBP in for the, to interdict and to stop.
The strikers made to drive on any terrain, carrying soldiers and cameras to remote areas.
We're adding more cameras. We're adding the ability to reposition a site really at will. So as we start to understand a certain area and say, well, we think there's illicit activity over here, we can reposition easily.
Inside the Striker, Sergeant John Wilkers showed me their extra set of eyes.
Toggle of this joystick, I can control that camera system up there. It can see accurately out to about 3 kilometers, and it can see pretty much anything,
giving them enough time for Border Patrol to arrive and apprehend if needed.
It has meaning to it, and so ultimately when we place it in front of the border wall, someone may be deterred from trying to cross illegally.
This team is anticipating being at Fort Huachuca until the end of the year. Drinks at a local bar like the Margarita could see an increase in price if President Donald Trump's tariffs on Mexico and Canada go into place, which could have a long-lasting effect on local businesses.
I don't know what is worse, the tariffs or the constant starting and stopping of them, because for me, and I think for a lot of small business owners, you have to make decisions today for what tomorrow is going to look like.
Vanessa Lauren opened her cocktail bar in September 2023.
We're a new business, so any new business, you have your bumps, but I feel like this year in particular, we've really started to catch some steam.
One of her favorite drinks on the menu, a margarita, a drink she makes with ingredients only from Mexico.
Cute. We've always tried to emphasize buying smaller family-owned brands of tequila, which, isn't super easy when you're outside of Mexico, but that's always been something that's important to us.
A 25% tariff means higher costs for consumers.
We have to add our markup as well because, we have bills to pay and we have mouths to feed.
So the question,
how expensive can we make a margarita for people to still want to, come in and spend money with us?
May cause Lauren to laugh, but is an answer she needs so she can stay open.
The margarita sort of represents what's coming for all of us in the bar business, is this beloved cocktail that everyone knows, everyone loves, is suddenly going to be maybe a little bit more difficult for some people to get. What are we rolling up on?
So this was a bailout from law enforcement, so I don't know, it seems like they caught a couple of them.
In 2024, the Cochise County Sheriff's Office encountered 150 cars that failed to pull over during a traffic stop, all carrying illegal border crossers.
The southern border here is controlled by the criminal cartels down south.
On that side of the border sits a scouting nest for the cartels.
You see the scout up there in between those two trees?
I'm told by Cochise County Sheriff's Office detectives that they're keeping a close eye on what's happening on both sides of the border.
If you have a good set of binoculars, you can look down there and see where law enforcement is. So when Border Patrol's leaving, they can say, hey, in this area, you're good to send your group. Border Patrol's leaving. Or, hey, Border Patrol's driving down the road, have them bunker down and hide.
Cody Essery, a detective with CCSO, says encounters with human smugglers are continuing despite President Trump's enforcement efforts.
We're still getting equivalent numbers as we would during this time of year, any other year.
He says it's because the cartels are still running their business.
The cartels play all of the role, I guess is the way to put it. People do not cross the border unless they pay the cartel first.
He says they control when people cross, where they're picked up, and dropped off.
It is a complete cartel operation where they control everything from beginning to end. He saw us quite a ways back. So if there was a group about to jump, he could say, hold off guys, there's vehicles coming. Or if they're already across, he could say, hey, there's a vehicle coming, hide.
But for deputies and agents, predicting what's next can be hard.
Anytime you're working against a large criminal organization, it's always a game of cat and mouse.
The load car we saw Wednesday morning was the second of the day for CCSO.
It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. This problem is affecting every person that lives in our county. Now, you could go up to Wilcox, Benson. You could talk to almost anyone in the community, and they have a story about how the border issue has negatively impacted them.
He says gaps in the wall make it easier to cross, but completing it isn't the only solution.
Because the wall is just a wall without the enforcement behind it.
President Donald Trump has already said he'd like to see the border wall completed, including the gap in the wall behind me. The first time Bisbee Fire Chief Jim Richardson brought up the city needing a new fire truck to me was right after that happened, the fire on 30 Main Street. That was nearly 2 years ago.
We got this quote 6-8 months ago, and the price has already risen nearly $100,000 in that short of time.
The new truck will look similar to this one, just shorter in the length, making it easier to maneuver through the narrow streets of Old Bisbee.
The whole city of Bisbee is in wildland area, so it's just a good all-around truck that would suit our purpose.
City officials have been working with Senators Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego to get a congressional grant paying for a new truck with a dual purpose, wildfires and structure fires.
The new truck that we're going to get, you can just keep driving as you spray water. So that's the big difference.
He says choosing the combination truck over a ladder truck, which many residents were asking for after the fire on Main Street, is solely a financial decision, since the fire department's $3 million budget only stretches so far.
It would be nice to have one. The city would be happy to have one. It's just the price of one has gone up so much.
Bisbee receiving roughly $620,000 from the Department of Agriculture, having to pay the rest out of pocket.
We're going to get something regardless, because we do have money. It's just we may have to stay within our budget.
Whatever truck they get won't arrive until 2027. Reporting in Bisbee, Alexis Ramanjulu, KGUN 9.